Mary, in this case, highlights exactly what's at stake every time we report on one of these road rage shootings. A judge here in Kent just imposed a sentence of 10 years in prison for the shooter, but the victim tells me he'll have to live with the impacts for the rest of his life.
I feel like I'm such a burden to my family now. I can't do anything, really.
Bryan Dukes relies on the support of his family and friends.
Every day I take like 20 different medications just to stay alive.
But he's grateful to be alive after what happened to him nearly 2 years ago. He was driving to work at the Port of Seattle when he was involved in a dispute with another driver on I-5. Things escalated and Francisco Castro-Guzman pulled out a gun and shot into Bryan's car. The bullet left him paralyzed.
I relive this day every day in my head.
Bryan and his wife, Angelica, appeared in court as Castro-Guzman learned his sentence after accepting a guilty plea.
You took more than my husband's mobility, but my children's childhood.
It's a prison term that Bryan and Angelica believe isn't enough.
To get this lowball plea just shows a reflection of how he does not want to be held accountable.
Castro-Guzman is 21 years old, but already had an extensive criminal record before shooting Bryan.
Like, how many chances does this guy get to just keep doing the same thing over and over and not being held accountable?
A month after the shooting, Castro-Guzman himself was also shot in the face in another dispute.
Right now, I feel like he's trying to play that card that, you know, he's had a hard life. Who's to say we didn't either?
Bryan, Angelica, and their kids say they are still adjusting to their new reality.
For me, there's no coming back from this. I'm kind of stuck the way I am for the rest of my life.
You saw there in that video, Castro-Guzman had those sunglasses on his face. That's because when he was shot a month after this, he was actually blinded from that shooting. Now, as for the sentence itself, the victim's family tells me they're not satisfied with this. They think 10 years is simply not enough for opening fire on the highway and paralyzing somebody like what happened here. The prosecutor, the defense attorney, and the family ultimately, though, all agreed to the sentence. The judge said that Chief was going to follow that sentence and didn't have much flexibility in terms of the law of what she could impose. So for now, this case and for the family, at least the legal part of it's over. Reporting live in Kent, Jeremy Harris, KOMO News.